Joy is definitely the answer. Having that joy, having that positivity is so important because that's really what's going to see us through. We can't change what happened in the past. We can only change what we're doing now and how we react to it. So I think if we choose joy in what our interactions are with other people and in all the good work that we do, that'll really make a difference in the world. Kids, they're just so go, and they're so over inundated. Even just getting them to take time to pause and just to take a second out of their day to really think and reflect is really important. So I think it's hard. I mean, I'll admit it. It's hard for me in our day-to-day lives when we're just, we're going all the time and we're really busy and being inundated by all these outside messages. To be able to consciously take a chance to stop and think within yourself, I think could have a lot of value. My name is Megan Nail. I'm a vice president of Total Rewards Practice. I'm here at the InkPad with my really good friend, Jody Curtis. I got an email from Jody, and Jody is my joy person. So I was not surprised to get an email from her that had the word joy in it and a really cool opportunity. So she's one of my best friends. So I knew if it was something she was recommending, I was in. I mean, I was just looking forward to having a different kind of experience. I feel like just, in our day-to-day, just taking that chance to be able to step back and have a different experience, I was really looking forward to it. I don't know that I have anything that profound to really share, but hopefully I have something, but I'm not sure I've got anything that exciting. So hopefully that's probably my biggest worry is just, do I have something valuable that I can share with people? I'm married, so I have a husband, and then I've got two boys. So I've got Alex, who's 13, and Andrew, who's 10. So they keep me on my toes, and it's been an interesting year. My kids are actually in school right now. I'm super happy. It just makes our whole family dynamic happier because I feel like whether it's employment or school for kids, I mean, I'm in the HR field, so employment is something I think about a lot. Just having that kind of purpose in your day and being able to learn new things, that was, I think, the hardest part about the quarantine when they weren't going to school every day and just feeling kind of stagnant, and they're not learning new things, they're not seeing their friends, they're not having those connections. And I've just seen such a turnaround since they've been able to go back to school in a safe way. I would say it was definitely this summer. So my family, we love to go to national parks and we love to hike. And that was actually one of the few things you could do this summer in a safe way. So we went to Olympic National Park in Washington, and we wanted to go there because my kids love the woods, but just the amount of trees and just the old mature forest is something that's amazing that they had never seen before. So what I was thinking about was the first hike that we took in the forested area there at Olympic. And we knew it was kind of challenging. There were a lot of stairs and bridges, and it was just absolutely beautiful. But we knew we were hiking towards a waterfall, but we didn't really know what it was. So what I was thinking about was that moment when we kind of rounded a corner and went up the next flight of stairs, and there it kind of was in view. And it was just beautiful. And it was just a moment where we were like, wow. And we just enjoyed it. We just stayed there for a while, and just kind of taking in that beauty and nature was a really awesome experience we had. I think why we like doing things like that is because typically those places, you don't have any cell service. It's extremely disconnected. There are no TVs like in the rooms where you stay. And it was just that moment where it was like, wow, it was a really strenuous hike, but we made it. And it was just kind of that surprise of what the end result was. It wasn't a place we had researched. We didn't know what it was going to be, but it just kind of left you in awe of the moment. One of my cousins got married, and I've kind of lived in a lot of different places, but I'm originally from Pittsburgh, and my parents lived there most of their lives. That's where they grew up for the most part, and so kind of our extended family is there. So we went back there for a wedding, and it's just me and my husband, my sister, and my parents, and just driving around kind of where they grew up and hearing their stories and just kind of living in that moment with them. And then my cousin's wedding was at a country club. Really beautiful setting, just like overlooking, Pittsburgh's so hilly, just overlooking kind of everything, just kind of, it's on the top of a hill. And just kind of being there and seeing my parents kind of just reconnecting with where they grew up. And my dad actually grew up on kind of a hill like adjacent to it, so you could kind of almost see his family home from where we were. But he said, I never thought, we would always look over here, but I never thought I would have been in this country club. So it was kind of just like an interesting like twist, you know what I mean, twist of events and kind of bringing that forward. And looking back, my parents have had some really challenging health issues this year. It just really brings me a lot of joy to think about having that reconnecting experience with them, just kind of in that moment. And I treasure it even more now, knowing kind of the situation that we're in. And we kind of drove around. They went to the University of Pittsburgh. We kind of drove around and went to some of their famous, favorite places when they were in college together and when they met. And I just kind of feel like now they're not in great health. It was kind of like, I don't want to say a bow on their life, but kind of. And I'm really glad that I got to be a part of that. My dad was diagnosed with cancer in March of all times, and my mom's actually in the hospital right now, so we're hoping, but she'll be in good shape. But that's kind of part of the weird thing that I just keep thinking back to. They live in Cleveland, so it's so far away. I mean, it's not something, I can't stay with them because of COVID. I can't put them at risk because they're so at risk. I mean, I'm fine, but it's just a weird dynamic, but it makes me think about that really happy memory. I would probably say reflection. Just like having that moment to pause and reflect, whether it was on kind of my parents' life and upbringing and how far they came, or just reflecting on the beauty that we have in this world and how much bigger the world is in each one of us, and kind of sharing that, probably reflection in family. The container would look like a big basket, and I picture like a basket with a lid with a really pretty ribbon on it, like something I would want to have in my house. Something that's kind of personal, but like warm and inviting. I would say that with reflection, it has to be something that we have to take time and to really think about not only who we serve, because as HR professionals, even though we're not frontline responders in a traditional sense, we are for our employees who are coming with issues and concerns, and we're there for them. And we're often the glue that holds an organization together. So thinking about reflecting on our role and how we can make a difference for those people is really important, because we have to take care of ourselves too. When you're constantly giving to other people, you have to find time to reflect and care for yourself also. I think I would actually probably give it to my mom, just because of everything that she's been through and just trying to lift her spirits during this time. We just have so much lost opportunity for connection with each other. And, hopefully if I could share that with her, it would bring her joy, even though we're separated physically. My chair of joy would actually be at my kitchen table, even though it sounds very ordinary, but I love my kitchen because it's super bright. There's a lot of windows, and I feel like light and positive energy. It kind of overlooks a wooded area. It's very peaceful looking out my kitchen window. So I would sit in my kitchen chair 4 times a day and just try to think about these happy memories and these situations that I've been really fortunate to have where I've experienced that joy in my life. And I could for sure see having this conversation with my mom, as I said, but I could also see having this conversation with my 13-year-old son, because we know being a middle schooler, going into high school, especially in this day and age, is not an easy thing. And I feel like kids are go, go, go now, and that him taking some time to kind of self-reflect and really think about everything that he has that's positive would be valuable for him too. Jody is the most joyful person, and we've been through kind of some organizations that we're involved in. We've definitely been through some challenging times together, and Jody is the first person every single time to come forward and say, choose joy. We're going to choose joy. We're going to move past this, and she really helps us all be positive. She's always the one that right before we were getting ready to execute on this really big event, and it was stressful and trying, she passed out her Choose Joy bracelets to all of us. And she's the first one to say, we're going to get through this. We're going to choose joy. We're going to be positive. And I think that comes through in her leadership style and really makes a difference. Joy is definitely the answer. Having that joy, having that positivity is so important because that's really what's going to see us through. We can't change what happened in the past. We can only change what we're doing now and how we react to it. So I think if we choose joy in what our interactions are with other people and in all the good work that we do, that'll really make a difference in the world. My experience with Cheryl and sitting in the chair of joy was amazing because it really made me stop out of my busy day and really think about what I have to reflect on and be joyful in my life, which is so many things. So I would really encourage you to take this opportunity to learn a little bit from Cheryl and really to learn a little bit from yourself too.